Imagine you're a secret agent. You've just received intelligence of a catastrophic doomsday device hidden behind an impenetrable door. There's only one way to shut it down: a 32-character alphanumeric passcode. Complex, random. You have one chance to remember it. No writing it down, no transmitting it. You carry it in your head alone. As you make your way toward the door, gunfire behind you, the world at stake, you ask yourself, can I remember this? Can I carry this responsibility alone? That scenario might be fiction, but the metaphor is not, because the passcode isn't just a code, it's our history. The device isn't a machine, it's the slow unraveling of democracy. And the mission isn't yours alone, it belongs to generations. This is the burden and promise of intergenerational memory, and we are failing it. Intergenerational memory isn't history class. It isn't dates and names and battles. It is what we choose to remember together. What we carry forward, not just as knowledge, but as living principle. It is memory made moral. It is what the Jews carried from Exodus through Auschwitz. It is what the civil rights movement carried from chains through marches. It is what indigenous communities carry from colonization to climate justice. And it is what our democracy was built on and is now losing. Because when we forget, not only do we risk repeating, we erase the instructions left by those who paid the cost before us. You've heard me speak of the social contract of the commons. It is not a transaction, it is a covenant. A sacred agreement between not just individuals, but generations. It says, I will not hoard the earth you will inherit. I will not write laws you cannot survive. I will not build systems you cannot breathe in. It is the contract of forests untouched, oceans unspoiled, education unpoisoned, and civic truth unbought. And it cannot exist without intergenerational memory. Why? Because you cannot protect what you forget. And you will not fight for what you never knew you had. Memory is the infrastructure of democracy, not the marble columns, but the stories told inside them. Not the Constitution, but the conscience to defend it. The American Republic is now suffering from generational amnesia. We forgot Jim Crow, and now watch voter suppression return. We forgot McCarthy, and now fear is weaponized once more. We forgot how fascism rises, and now call it populism. We forgot that never again means nothing if we don't mean it every time. And worst of all, we forgot that memory is not enough unless it becomes action. Statues and speeches do not remember, only people do. The commons depends on shared stewardship of land, of law, of life. But how do we steward what we do not remember belongs to us? What happens when a nation forgets it belongs to itself? We privatize what was once shared. We commodify what once was sacred. We allow silence where there should be study. We let inheritance become apathy. Today, we treat the planet as infinite, the future as disposable, and the past as optional. We do not teach civics with depth. We do not protect truth with vigilance. We do not honor those who resisted the last time the darkness rose. And that makes us vulnerable. Because those who would erode democracy do not need to burn the books. They just need us to stop reading them. If the social contract of the commons is to survive, we must reactivate memory as duty, not as nostalgia nor trauma, but lived as usable moral memory. We must tell our children why libraries are sacred, why voting matters, why protest is patriotism, why silence is complicity. We must teach them what the long arc of the moral universe means, and how it only bends when we pull it together. We must say, I remember the America that betrayed itself, and the one that tried to rise again. And then we must live like that memory is still unfolding. There is no one code to save democracy. But there are fragments passed down like sacred whispers. Truth is not partisan. Freedom is relational. Rights come with responsibility. Silence helps the tyrant. Memory protects the future. These fragments are not passwords. They are promises, etched in blood, in ballots, in books. And if we forget them, the door will not open. America does not need more heroes. It needs more remembering. It needs teachers who say the hard things, parents who refuse whitewashed curriculum, citizens who remember that protest is a form of memory, and artists, yes, even filmmakers, who stop serving spectacle and start serving truth. Because memory is not a soft thing, it is the backbone of the Republic, and we must carry it, even when it hurts. Signed, for the commons, in the name of those who remembered before us, and those who must never forget after.